Today I'm going to talk about Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, never said that correctly, sorry, by Ransom Riggs. I basically read this because I saw the trailer for the Tim Burton adaptation of this book, and the minute I saw the trailer I was like, oh, I really want to read the book it's based on, because I've heard so many good things about this book as more about this series, and I was like, yes please. Definitely I'm going to go into the film, so it gave me like the final push to read the book. As it had quite an interesting premise. I don't think there's anybody left that does not know what this book is about. However, if you do not, it's basically about a group of people called Peculiars, and they have kind of special abilities, I could say, or peculiarities as the book names it, but a bit, I suppose the easiest comparison I could make is a bit like X-Men, where they're human beings that have adapted, evolved to have other, say, non-human related powers, or things that are necessarily associated with human beings, and so it's slightly like that. It's not completely like that, but it's a nice comparison I can make. And so it kind of follows these Peculiars and how one boy is kind of, I'm trying to think of his name, it's been so long since I've read this, Jacob, as it's kind of how Jacob is related to them, and what's the connection to the story, and Jacob's grandfather is somehow involved. There's a connection and things. I won't say too much because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it had a really interesting premise, and so I was intrigued. I do quite like YA supernatural books and YA dystopian books, YA any kind of books. YA tends to be my genre, but I'm slowly growing out of it, I feel, which is a shame. But it tends to be my genre, so I picked it up. Actually, I bought the whole trilogy in one go because I was like, I'm definitely going to want to read them. So I bought all three of them, kind of as an impulsive purchase. And even though it wasn't a bad book, I kind of feel like it was lacking. I feel like that's quite a controversial opinion. I haven't really heard a bad review of these books, but maybe it picks up. It definitely left on a note where I want to read the second one, so it wasn't awful. I mean, there was something about it, and I can't put my finger on it, but I don't really know. I didn't thoroughly enjoy it. Like, I loved the sort of pictures that went throughout. I don't think you can see them, but I liked that the whole way through. There was pictures between each, I don't even want to say chapter, it's just sometimes random sentences and things. I liked the way that was done, and I thought the writing style was nice. It was really easy reading. I also loved the quality of the book. I seem to be obsessed with book qualities at the moment, but again, it's a really lovely paperback, so I really enjoyed that. And then there was something missing, I feel. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I think it's because I didn't really like the plot. Bear with me. I don't really feel like anything happened, and the things that did happen I felt were very repetitive and almost in a loop, which, reading the book, might actually be fitting that it's in a loop, but I personally didn't enjoy it. I felt like it limited the book's pace, and it meant that I wasn't like riveted to read the next chapter. I didn't really, nothing really happened until like the last 3-4 chapters. It's basically the point I'm trying to get around in a very roundabout way of saying, but I don't really feel like the book didn't really move or anything really exciting happened. It was kind of just someone going back and forth. It was very sort of limiting. I liked that there was a slow forming love story that's kind of appearing, as creepy as it is, because technically the love story is between somebody who is a lot older than another person, but it falls into the other YA supernatural element of it's okay because they look like they should be the other protagonist's age, if that makes sense. They're actually a lot older, but it's an extra layer is added in the an extra layer is added in the sense that she kind of had a thing for an older relative of his when the older relative was the same age as the person she's now got a thing with. I'm really trying to not give spoilers here, but it just became a bit odd. It didn't really sit very nicely with me. I'm having more and more of a problem with the whole supernatural thing anyway, of the really old person is in love with really young teen. Maybe I'd go as far as love, but there's definitely something forming and there's something slightly unnerving about it. I don't know, but if you can put that aside, I suppose it's quite a sweet development. But there's just, I feel like this book had a lot of potential. There was so much that could happen, and I don't really feel like the peculiars were explored very much. I'm hoping in the second book they're going to be, but this was very focused on Jacob as a character who, for a very long period of the book, doesn't really seem to have anything to offer. Maybe because I've seen the trailer, bits of it was already spoiled for me, and so the book wasn't as gripping as it could be, but nothing really seemed to happen. It was good in the sense of I liked where I feel like this is going, and I'm intrigued to read the second one, and I did like the writing style and the description, the way the book was formed. There was something very different about it, and I liked that it felt very different. It wasn't about werewolves or vampires and things like that. It was far more about this sort of different, almost subspecies of humans. I don't know if I want to use the word subspecies, but it's kind of the only thing I can think of. But it's like a branch off, so they were human, but they weren't. I'm really terrible at explaining this concept, but it was lacking. Everything was like almost there. It was enough almost there to make me want to read the next one, as I've said, but it wasn't enough almost there to make me really like this, and I probably wouldn't pick it up again, which is a shame. I think my main problem was I'm disappointed. I was expecting a lot from this book. I really wanted to like it. I've heard so many good reviews. The film looked amazing, or looks amazing, and I'm really sort of intrigued by the concept, and I feel very lackluster, and maybe that's because I'm growing up now and YA fiction is no longer really a thing for me anymore, though my last review would counteract that. Or maybe this book just isn't as good as I wanted it to be, and that's really where my problem lies. But that's what I thought about it. It was just a bit of a disappointment, really. It's a shame. If anyone else has read this book and completely disagrees with me, because no doubt someone out there does, please tell me why in the comments, or if you've read this and you do agree with me, also share your thoughts and feelings. I just think it's a bit yeah, and I'd like to see if anyone else out there has the same opinion. Also, I'm going to go on and read the other two, so if somebody doesn't think it's worth my while, please let me know. Or if people are like, oh no, it really picks up in the second one, also let me know, because that'd be quite cool to find out. But otherwise, I shall see you again soon. Bye!